Hello and welcome to the Pixel Podcast. My name is Matt, and I'm here with Ethan
Hello!
and Ricardo.
Oh, yeah.
I hit my cue that time, Matt. Do I not get positive reinforcement? Do
You
I
do
not?
get
Is that
positive.
just
Good
shit?
boy. Good
Yeah.
boy. Here's a
Yeah.
treat.
Thank
Here's a
you.
treat.
Thank you. All thanks to the beer.
Yep, you're welcome.
Oh, you're drinking a Pineapple Palisades from Golden Road Brewery?
Golden
Company?
Road Brewery.
That's not one of our sponsors.
Uh,
we don't have in the first.
It has a great
Uh,
taste of pineapple with a hint of apricot.
How is it?
I actually really like it.
It has
I
a
think
great
it's
taste
really
of
good.
pineapple with a hint of apricot. Didn't
Yeah.
you hear him?
I mean, real talk though, if they weren't paying me, $250 to sponsor us on our show, I'd
Why
say
just you? Why
it's
just
pretty good.
you? Why don't we get a cut of this? This is our show.
You gotta make deals, man. I can't make all the deals for you. You gotta be out there hustling. You can't just get
Yeah.
those like gigs, you know?
Just like today, I'd like to tell you
I'm drinking
about hymns. Do you know men's sexual health is a very important thing that concerns a lot of men? A lot of men, including
A lot of men.
myself, are losing their hair out there. They don't want that. So
I mean, it's a good thing you're watching Tucker Carlson's weekly series, Men in America, during Women's History Month, because he's talking a lot about the things that matter to you.
perfect.
Yep,
I need to see it.
you need to watch it.
But yeah, anyway, Ethan, I've had that the mango cart, and that's really good.
Yeah, I really like it. I've never heard of these guys before, but someone brought it over and left it at a party we had, and I was like, oh, I'll drink this.
Now it's yours.
Well, it's weird because everyone brought like these big. I don't know why people do this, but they bring like these big like liter size bottles, and it's
But
like.
that's not what that is, though.
No, I know it's not
growler?
what it is, but this is like the only thing I have left besides
a
like a
growler,
whole
like
bunch
I
of-
used to do. Is that what
No,
you're talking about?
no. It was like those,
Like the
big
pint
ones.
and a half bottles.
Yeah,
or
like
whatever.
the 2-pint ones or whatever, where it's like slightly larger, and it's like this is enough to
Oh,
split,
like 24 ounce.
but
Yeah.
like not enough to drink by yourself. It's like a little much. Like
Yeah, for a party, that's like, you say that, but I have one of those right now in my hand.
all right, maybe I should get on your level then. Is what you're saying, huh?
Yeah, it's like maybe you should just stop being a wimp. Is what I'm trying to tell you.
Oh man, I feel so challenged right now.
Yep, you should be more hardcore, like me. This is 1 pint 6 fluid ounces, 22 fluid ounces.
There you go. This
but
is just Sprite.
If you drink 2 cans of beer though, that's more than this. So
It doesn't have anything else in it.
It's just Sprite.
I'm drinking an old favorite, Sonoran white chocolate.
Chocolate.
Remember
is
from
one of our-
episode. Edit the episode's name in here. Oh.
And that's cut. And yes, as from that episode, you'll remember, it was a 5-star beer, and the local Bevmo near us has it
Was it
every
a
time.
5-star beer? Was it?
It was. We claimed we would
I thought it
buy
was
it. Yeah,
good.
we all liked it. Dude,
I
I
don't-
will go back to that recording.
Alright.
You definitely
Check
gave
the
it
tape.
5
For some reason, I
stars.
remember. Maybe it was just because I thought the name was so silly that I kind of been like, it's gone down in rating for me. But maybe it is really good. I haven't had it obviously since then.
I remember after that one, I went back to the Bevmo to try and find it, and it was not there anymore.
Oh,
But
shame.
the one near me now has it every single time I go there. So now I get one of those.
Very nice.
It's very good. This is very good. Also, things you can say about video games. They're very good sometimes.
They're
Sometimes.
pretty
Sometimes
dang good.
we
Most
played
of the
some. We
time.
played some very good video games.
Because they're all the same
Yeah.
video games we've been playing. Because they're all very good. We don't want to stop playing them
Ricardo,
Pretty much.
you've been playing Monster Hunter and DBZF,
forever.
Z,
DBFZ.
DBZ. Anything updating that's worth updating about?
Not really. No, I mean it's just primarily been trying to get better in Dragon Ball Fighters, get better with the team I'm running with. It's coming together to a certain extent. The online community in Dragon Ball Fighter Z. I don't know if this is because, Dragon Ball Fighters. Excuse me. I don't know if this is because of the license, it drew a brand new kind of audience or whatever. But you get a lot of guys not necessarily respecting the fighting game etiquette. There's a lot of one win and quitter guys out there instead of letting a set run. There's a lot of guys who you win a match against, and then you'll play the second match and they'll win, and then they'll quit after that. And then there's just a lot of rage quitters as well. So, you know,
is there any kind of like punishment for rage quitting? Like that seems to be like a bad design if that's the case.
Not that I know of currently. It doesn't count as a win for you or a loss for them. So
that's why then there's no incentive not to rage quit.
It's like, funny because it's
not even
just
rage quit, it's a tactical quit.
It's always an issue. I mean, it's a tactical win, is it? Like ultimately, it's like you're admitting you lost. It's just it doesn't necessarily count whatever in
people
whatever
care
online
about their dumb online score
exactly.
way more than, and people also care about the vindictive, well, you won't get a win out of this nature of the thing.
But yeah, like so that's been happening. It's just funny that like every fighting game runs into that issue in the first couple months. Although this has been out for a little while now, so I don't know why this hasn't been addressed. And they always have to address it post-launch, and it's like, no, just people are gonna rage quit. Like, just make that a priority when you're making your online fighting game.
Right.
But whatever. It's still a really fun game. Like, again, a lot more fun, a lot more accessible than any fighting game I've played recently. So it's a good one. It's a good one.
We'll save the 30-minute long Dragon Ball Z chat for later.
After
please
spare Ethan.
Mercy.
Ethan, you've been playing Into the Breach. How's that gone?
Yeah, man, that game is really awesome. It is FTL. You mentioned it last week's podcast. It's very shocking how like all the trappings kind of around it all feel very FTL like everything around the game, but then the actual gameplay itself is its own unique, completely different thing about like just like has its own style and like tactical combat, Fire Emblem like tactical elements where it's almost like Survive. You're always losing. That's really a cool feature about it. Is you always feel like you're losing, and you know, it's a very kind of like a hopeless kind of game in some ways. You really sit down and think about it because you're always just being sent back, and people just wonder about like these timelines. They're like, oh man, in this timeline, like, you know, I wonder how many people died. Every time I see a pilot, it's like, look at every time a pilot comes in, it's like that's another failed timeline. I'm like, dang, that's like weirdly existentially depressing in some ways. But cool. I really like that.
There's lines of dialogue that are like, oh, I'm dead in this timeline. Like, yeah, pilot will say that.
Yeah, it's like really crazy to like think about that sort of stuff. But like the actual gameplay itself is, for me, I like it, but I'm bad at it, like real bad at it.
I've heard it, which a lot of these turn-based ones actually, a lot of these turn-based strategy games actually boil down to this, but I've heard it's very much a combat puzzle where it's like you're gonna like an errant move can kind of make the whole thing like
totally
fall apart.
One thing I really like about it though is you can undo every move, so you can go like move somewhere, do an attack, or like look and see how the attack. As long as you
don't do the attack,
you can always reverse it for free. And then if you really screw up, you can reverse the whole turn once per like mission, completely. So if you like really screw up and you're like, oh, I'm in a bad spot at the end of this, you can just reset the whole thing, which is really cool because it lets you do experimentation. Because there's so many times where I'm like, okay, if I knock this guy over to this corner, will it do enough damage to kill both of the dudes, or will that guy like, you know, if you get a new weapon, it's like, does that actually push two things back? Does it create smoke? I'm not 100% sure. And I do it, and I'm like, oh, that's not enough. Actually, they're still going to take out a building. And
are you using the standard like default squad that you started at the beginning?
I did use a standard default squad. I unlocked the second squad, which is the one with the. I mean, you can do it whatever order you want, but I got the one with the jet. I don't know if you use that one.
The Rusting Hulks.
I think so. I don't like them as much.
That's funny because that's the one that everyone says is like that's the one people seem to be real hot on the web.
The one with the one that has the jet and the pushing science machine.
Yeah, and it has like the electric cloud, the electric smoke.
The electric smoke cloud's really cool. I don't know. I don't like the positioning of the jet. The jet can only attack if you do like a bunny hop over it, kind of like a checker. You can only kill people when you jump over stuff and do damage. So if there's like a building in the way that you're trying to defend, or if there's a mountain or anything, you're completely limited on your mobility. And that can get real bad. I'm still trying to get kind of the feeling of the game, but it's really good, and it's really good. Even though I get frustrated sometimes, where they have like a really bad run, at least I learn a lot I learn a lot about how the game works. I learn a lot about like what each mech is proficient at. I'm still not 100% on board with the science guy that like just pushes everyone away from him. That's all he does.
Okay.
It's kind of like he doesn't do any damage. He just pushes people, and I'm like, I need someone to do damage, or else these guys. I keep getting overwhelmed. There's just too many bugs. Because you can do damage when you push people in the walls or off the ocean, but if you're playing on a desert map, there's not a whole lot of that. And I'm trying to get better at the desert map.
You gotta push them into the bug spawning.
Yeah,
holes.
that's one of the things I tried doing, but just
The
because
old bug spawning hole.
you just got to find the right
Every
spots.
summer we go down to the bug spawning hole, kill a few
Me and my
bugs.
pappy was down there, get nice and spawny.
Gross.
Yeah, I was really surprised at how much I like this game because I like tactics games in theory, but I always get frustrated at some point because I'm a little hasty. The only kind of like tactics game I've gotten
This
really
game is
into.
not built for that. This game is like
no, it's not.
This game is like you can spend like 20 minutes thinking about what you want to do on this turn.
Totally, but but the fact that you can experiment and reset rounds and things like that gives you a little bit more ability to play with that. But I really am digging it so far. I think the simplicity of it really is. It shows a very simple map, but it has so much depth into it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this character can push. This character can push differently. This character can shoot up a smoke cloud that'll disable like everyone's view. So if I push them in the smoke cloud, the next turn it'll do damage and it'll kill them. And you can do like really cool, like set up some really cool combos. Sometimes I don't think I have the patience for it. Sometimes it's just kind of unfortunate. But but the game is so cool. Like the way they handle the story without actually explaining it too much. The way they you unlock new different units, the way you make a run, and it's like, oh, cool, what's in this pod? Oh, it's like some crazy freaking pilot dude, which I haven't gotten yet. But it's like, now I want to see how like this will work with a fully upgraded mech, or like this, particular new weapon. Like, there's all these different things that just slowly get unlocked and shown to you. And I don't know, there's a lot of roguelikes that do that sort of thing in other games, but it doesn't seem as satisfying as this one. Maybe it's because you're not a single person, you're like a group of people, so the fact that you can change people makes it feel like the game is a lot different.
You can mix and match it in a lot of cool ways.
It's like this person compliments this person as opposed to other games where it's like, well, you get a cool weapon where you could jump higher now in this particular run. It's like, that's less interesting than, oh man, this guy's got a crazy gun that shoots a friggin' turns people around so they attack the other way and will attack their friends, like, things like that. But yeah, that game's really good. I want to look more into it. I haven't played as much as I have wanted to because I just my brain, I do a couple of mistakes, I lose a run, and I'm like, well, I could just play Monster Hunter and just enjoy that. It's just easier,
Yeah, I've been on the same run for a while, just saving and holding out, trying to not like it started going bad, and I was like, no, and then I haven't gone back to it yet.
You just gotta let it go. I like the fact that you can take one good pilot with you. Like, it's enough enough persistency to kind of give you that feeling that, oh, my run isn't completely for waste. Besides that and unlocking achievements, like, you get to take one thing back, which is nice.
Yeah.
And that fits the whole story too. So
you also potentially will like unlock a new squad for use in a second.
So there's a whole bunch of squads. There's like 8 probably total. I've only unlocked an extra one.
You can also do random squads too, where it mixes and matches them.
Oh, that seems really cool. Potentially overpowered.
I don't know when you unlock that. I'm not sure, but I think the random squad might be like you don't get to choose.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. You could potentially be overpowered. Yeah, like sometimes just be like, oh, I got a good roll on my random squad, which could be pretty fun. Like, that's cool.
I can't remember if you do get to choose or not. I have to double check that. I might be wrong.
Yeah, I feel like there were times in FTL where I would do a run, not necessarily to win, but in order to try to unlock something. I don't know.
You could totally do that in this
one.
Thing because the unlocking is the same way in FTL, where it's tied to achievements.
It's similar. It's similar because like FTL is a little bit more hidden, where it's like
that's true.
Like FTL has they definitely changed it, but at the very beginning it was like the only way to unlock the rock ship is to like find this event in the rock home world.
That's true. I forgot about that.
Follow the dude over here, and then he goes this way, and then you gotta like say this thing to him to convince him that you're tough enough, and then he says good job, and then an achievement pops up that says you unlocked the rock ship.
And I think that changed in the iPad release, where it made it a little bit easier. I think
in the iPad release, and I think they updated the PC release
version too. Yeah. But
So you could still do it that way, or it's like if you beat the game with the previous ship in like a chain, it would.
yeah, and
It
this
would
one
then,
is
like-
kind of cool because it's literally like earn achievement points by doing achievements, and then spend those
Yeah, like-
achievement points on whatever squad you want.
Like for the basic squad, you've got one that's like, each squad has like 3 achievements, and one is like push 3 enemies into water in 1 turn in one match, punch an enemy from 5 squares away, which your guy can get like a dashing punch. So like do that, and get like 1 perfect run on an island without losing any hit points or something like that. I can't remember exactly which one it was, but something
Something like
like that. So you can get 3 for that, and then like the new teams either cost, and then when you get an achievement, you get a little medal, and every other team either costs like 3 or 6 medals, and then you can unlock new teams that way. So
Yeah, it's
seems
super cool.
neat.
I really like that game a lot. I'm looking forward to it. Kind of bums me out though because this game would be really good on Switch, or even on iPad or anything like that. Like because it's turn-based stuff. Yeah, you'd be doing something else, chilling out.
And the UI is really built nicely for
PC.
for iPad, for touch, I should say.
Oh, totally. Yeah, it would work
Yeah.
great on that stuff. So that's kind of a shame, but I'm sure it will come there at some point because everything's getting ported to the Switch. Everything you want.
Everything.
Everything.
But we're talking about that later. And by
Fucking-
later, I mean right now, during the news.
Whoa, man, we got here fast, but that's because there's a lot of news with the Nintendo Direct.
Direct. I did not watch the Nintendo Direct because I was at work, but I
I
did
was at
follow.
work as well.
Well, I mean, I was at a meeting, but I was following along on Twitter.
I had an earphone in and was half paying attention to it.
What is your biggest takeaway from the Nintendo Direct? We're gonna go over as much as we can, but what do you guys?
3DS ain't dead. They still got some games coming for it that actually look all right. I kind of want to play.
Yes, WarioWare
They're
is
bringing up-
still a threat.
WarioWare's coming back. The biggest one yet. The biggest micro games.
I love WarioWare. It's
I
one of
love
my favorite game
WarioWare.
series.
I will play another WarioWare.
I am bummed that it is coming to 3DS and not Switch. That
There
is a
can-
bummer.
There probably will be a Switch one later, maybe.
Yeah,
don't know.
I think this
guess-
is also the first Nintendo Direct where they announced a game. It was like a weird sushi game.
Yes,
Where it comes
I
both to comes to Switch and 3DS at the same
So does
time.
Captain Toad.
Does Captain Toad also do that?
Captain Toad's coming to both. I don't know if it's going to the exact same time. I don't know that, but it is
Interesting.
coming to.
But yeah, there's also some
Uh,
weird stuff like they decided to re-release Luigi's Mansion on 3DS and not Switch, the original one.
That's weird.
Which, well, I guess they already built that 3D Luigi's Mansion's game for 3DS already.
It's true, but
Maybe they just use the same engine for that.
you
I
might
don't
be
know.
right. But I don't know. That's a very strange thing. I'm looking forward to that Captain Toad game. I heard the Wii U one was really good, and I really like those levels in Super Mario
Captain
Land.
Toad.
But,
Wait, didn't you play it? Didn't you have the Wii U one?
No, I never bought it.
Yeah, I'm excited. Captain Toad. That's my ish right there.
No, I'm all about that Captain Toad. And then we got Crash Bandicoot remaster coming in.
What?
You got that Okami coming in. You got
What?
that.
The Insane Trilogy.
Yeah, you got the
is
South Park
now
game coming
to
in.
Switch.
That
Um,
Little Nightmares game coming in. Like all these games getting ported. Undertale coming to Switch.
Yeah, Undertale gonna be on it. Is Undertale gonna be the new Skyrim?
I know. And Dank Souls coming to Switch.
Dank Souls with its very own amiibo.
I love that. That's the first thing they chose. I mean, it's
Well, yeah.
Solaire of Astora. My dude, praise the sun.
Praise the sun.
Sunlight Covenant is he's gonna be an amiibo, and that's I don't know
with his
that
full, in full pose and everything.
in full praising pose. So
It's a pretty
Yeah.
good amiibo. Like it looks
Yeah,
really
it's a
good too.
Great amiibo, yeah. I don't deny it.
Kinda.
Splatoon expansion.
Yeah, they got a
Splatoon
single player
2
add-on.
expansion.
the Octo expansion.
It has like this dark, edgy kind of feel to it, which
Yeah,
is kind
it's
of
a
weird.
which is definitely a weird vibe for Splatoon to go with.
But hey, I'm interested in that because their single player stuff's kind of like okay from what I've heard. But I don't know. It's interesting, except I don't have Splatoon 2 anymore because I didn't like it that much. Anyway,
But you got rid of it.
yeah, it's just I.
Wait, you got rid of the game?
Yeah,
Why
I
didn't
was
you just keep it?
because I could also get like $40 from it, buy a new game that I'd like more
I see.
because it was so new at the time. I just realized I was like, I'm not gonna play this anymore. There's no one to play with. I don't know. No one else has it. So,
Nah.
Anyway, what else was there? There was one other announcement. Oh yeah, Super Smash Brothers.
Oh yeah, how could you forget?
Yeah, they were like, "Whoa, what's going
Tried
on?"
so hard. and got so
there's-
far.
They did that thing. They were like, "We have one more thing to show you," and I saw like Splatoon kids running around,
Oops.
and I was like,
Oops, we almost forgot. Oops,
know.
we
and it's
forgot.
like,
One
already
more
Splatoon
thing,
kids, and I was
Jackie.
like, "This is gonna be Smash. This is gonna be Smash." They're throwing these Splatoon kids just shooting each other for no reason. It's gonna be Smash.
And then
It's
the
gonna be
Splatoon
Smash.
looks over, and in her eye is the flaming logo of
Yes, everyone
Smash.
is retweeting that
And then-
logo. That either it's her eye with something else in the reflection, or it's somebody else's eye with the Smash
Yeah.
icon.
Yeah.
I
Like
saw
Shrek.
Shrek. I saw Shrek with Smash.
Yeah.
Make it happen, Nintendo.
So, yeah. So Smash for Switch. When is that coming?
They said
was it-
2018, so sometime this year.
So probably, You know what?
It
I'm gonna
looks
guess.
like a new. It looks like a new Smash, not.
Yeah,
everyone
that's the
was
thing.
thinking-
Is everyone's
Everyone
thinking
was
it's,
definitely thinking it was going to be like a redo of.
I don't know if it will be though.
I still see.
I don't think it- no,
still
not
see half
anymore.
the people saying that it is just gonna be Smash.
I think it might be still remade.
Smash 4, but like Smash 4, but with like maybe a couple new characters.
That's what I'm
like,
thinking,
yeah.
honestly. I would be cool if they had a brand new one completely, but
Kind of like a Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Yeah,
I guess.
where it's-
Although I guess that had the same stuff.
no,
just,
because
like,
it did
all
have
the
Splatoon in it as well. Splatoon was
Oh,
in
It
the
had like
original,
one
yeah.
or two new characters, but it was basically there was nothing
Yeah.
else.
So that's what I was.
This
That's something they
this
might
has
do.
this has at least has Breath of the Wild link.
That's true.
The link they show in that is 100% the Breath of the Wild link, so that at least is different.
And
Whether or not the
Splatoon
entire game
characters.
is new, it's different. That's the it's Splatoon.
I didn't see no ARMS characters though, so I'm a little disappointed because they announced like an ARMS league going on,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh man, there's gonna be an ARMS league. Okay.
Where is my man Helix?
Where's Helix? Hey, Helix boy. Where's my squishy boy?
Whoa.
Whoa.
So yeah, I just want it in Smash so I can just play that song over and over again in the like stage, whatever they release.
Okay, well, this is I think a good time to be like, so who's missing from Smash that you guys would really like to see?
Wait,
Like, who's-
Nintendo characters or non-Nintendo? Are we gonna separate these out? 'Cause I feel like
Let's say.
start with Nintendo.
Oh, okay. Okay, fine.
Because I mean, like, I'm just curious, like, how many Nintendo characters are left? Like, I
I
mean,
mean, they
isn't-
come out with a lot of new IPs recently. It felt like
yeah.
that they've been trying, but like the Splatoon's already in there now, and it's like I said, ARMS probably should be in there. There should be someone in there.
Yeah.
Gone all the way to Animal Crossing. They've got Mii's. They've got Wii Fit Trainer.
Yeah, right.
So Splatoon is obvious.
The Vitalis
ARMS.
Center.
It would make sense to have one person from ARMS. Hopefully
Yeah.
not. Hopefully not the generic white
It's
Spring
dude.
probably
Man.
gonna be Spring Man.
But yeah,
honestly.
you're right. You're right. But it should
Or Ribbon Girl.
I wish it was
Lady-
Twintella though.
be Twintella. That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
It should be.
yeah.
Hey, Smash got
Just
flex
play-
stuff with
I was
it.
gonna
It
say
was
just
coming
play
from,
Twintel versus
Bayonetta.
Zero Suit and
Or
Zero Suit
just
Samus.
Samus.
Oh yeah.
That's the new meaning of Smash.
Yeah.
What else we got? We got I mean, freaking, they got Duck Hunt Dog, man. Like they got everything.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
kind of have
That's
everything
what
in
I'm
this
saying.
one.
Like you could add a couple. You could add like Waluigi, I guess.
Yeah.
Waluigi
I guess.
or like I mean another
Birdo. People who know
ball-
who Birdo is. Like it
ball-
could be any
ball-
assist trophy. Like it could
bald bull from Punch Out.
just, yeah.
He's kind of iconic.
Mr. Dream.
Mr. Dream. yes.
They actually have Cloud in there, don't they? They have Cloud in there, right?
They do have
I
Cloud.
forgot. Okay.
Yep. Cloud, Bayonetta, Sonic, Mega Man,
Ryu.
Pac-Man, Ryu. Those are all the ones that I think. Those are all six.
There's a lot. There's a lot that like okay. Well, since we're out of
Okami would be cool.
I was
since
gonna
we got
say, like,
Okami
I'm trying to
on-
think of other
Okami
characters.
Yeah,
could be
I'm
Switch
out
now.
of Rust.
yeah,
Amaterasu?
Okami would be cool.
Simon Belmont, I still want in there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that'd be
that
good
way,
one.
and he would
Still
work
needs
pretty.
to
He
be
would
in
work
there.
pretty well.
I'm thinking of some Tom Nook. Then you throw another Animal Crossing character in there.
Tom Nook would
Nook,
be
not the right
good.
No, Tom Nook, wrong choice. Tom Nook, wrong choice.
Who is it?
KK
KK
Slider.
Slider.
Hitting people with his guitar.
This side would be good, but yeah,
That
all
is-
right, that's fine.
Yeah.
Blathers, he just throws bugs at you. 'cause
Cappy,
it's-
Cappy, he sings a song as his ultimate. That's his.
Yes. Captain.
Yeah, Captain sings a new song. Cappy should be in it.
Cappy in there.
Or no, make Mario make whatever version of Mario is in this one.
Have Cappy.
Cappy
That's one
Mario.
of his specials.
So no, his moveset, yeah, his moveset is just different because
He has
instead of having the water pack or whatever.
I mean, he already has Flood. Yeah, I was gonna say he already has Flood.
replace that.
No, just have him add more stuff to him.
Yeah.
They already had the Monster Hunter character in Marvel vs. Capcom, but maybe
They
they could
should
do like a Rathalos or something in there. But although they don't, because the
that's
3DS has
trophy or
always held
something?
them. Yeah. I don't even
Like
know
an
if this
assist-
is trophy, but just like you can have like some sort of like Pokemon trainer type thing. Although they seem to be getting away from that, where they don't want.
They
like,
already
I
took
don't
Pokemon
want
Trainer
to.
out of it to
Yeah,
begin with,
true.
so
They don't want it.
There's a
We all-
lot. Let's see.
Yeah.
the guy milking the cow from 1-2 Switch.
Yes.
I like that
Yes.
one. That's a good
The
choice.
Wizard.
Wizard.
Some Pilot Wings people.
Some Pilot
That's-
Wings.
Those were just me's last time. Last pilot was
Yeah, but like originally they weren't.
a
Pilot
wave
Wings
race,
64.
wave race character.
Yes. Or a wave
On-
race
oh, wait,
stage.
no, a wave race character on the jet ski the entire time, no matter what the
Yes.
terrain is. It's just constantly on the jet ski.
Somebody from 1080.
Wave race. Yep.
Wave race 1080. There's still some stuff to pull from.
Yeah, no matter what.
Quest 64. That
God.
guy from that game.
Clay
Uh,
fighter. Throw him in there.
Fucking bad Mr. Frosty. Get him in there.
Jeez.
Ichabod Clay.
Uh,
Mr. Taffy. I played a lot of Clay Fighter. back
Really?
in the day.
A little too
Yeah.
much Clay Fighter.
I had Clay Fighter 63 and third was like the second N64 game I had.
Oh,
And I played
wow.
a shit ton of it.
Tetramino.
Yes.
Yes. The
Any of the characters
T-shaped
from Tetris-
T-shaped
Tetris Battle Guide. And
Fucking Picross cursor.
one of the more Pokemon. Just put more in there.
Pushmo.
Pushmo.
Get Pushmo in there.
The
Pushmo
Dragon
would be
Quest
cool.
builder guy.
Pushmo would be cool. I think most of these that we named would actually be really cool assist trophies. I feel like.
Totally. Like a lot of these are like smaller characters. What about the Tetsu? That character from Breath of the Wild, the big, I can't remember his name. He's the guy who does you do the upgrades with the
Hestu.
Hetsu. That's it.
Hestu, yeah.
Him.
Hestu.
I want him to come in there. He needs to be an assist trophy and dance.
Yeah.
I want
That's
that.
pretty good.
Yes.
And then he randomly upgrades one character,
Yep.
like gives them
like a little
gives
extra
them their
meter
or
back or
gives them
something.
their smash move or something like that
Yeah.
to use. There's their smash ball move.
Yes. Yes.
I think these
Guy
are
from
all
Skyrim.
these are all free ideas. Guy
Okay.
from Skyrim. The
Guy
fucking-
The
from
main
Skyrim.
character.
but
Don't
dressed
wait,
but dressed like Link.
Oh wait.
But with
and he fucking dragon shouts, and that's his specials.
It's obvious, guys.
What?
Solaire.
Yes.
Solaire in the
Fucking
game. A Dark Souls character.
Solaire.
They got
Would be
amiibo,
good.
so they can like be taught and everything. So
What if there was just like a dark and depressing Dark Souls stage that they made for Smash Brothers?
They already have the dragon from Mario Odyssey,
That
which
dragon's
looks like
pretty
a Dark
good.
Souls dragon.
A dragon is like a
Yes.
Dark Souls dragon that randomly appears in Mario Odyssey, and it's like, what's going on?
And
with this
Bowser's
game?
riding this realistic-looking dragon,
Yeah.
which is very odd. This cartoony-looking turtle dragon on top of this realistic-looking, like lizard dragon.
Yeah, that was a
It's pretty great.
what a good game.
What a good game.
Dante. Just pick everyone from PlayStation All Stars, put them in Smash Brothers.
Yeah, Crash Bandicoot. They couldn't get him for PlayStation All Stars, but they can get him for Nintendo.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, you could probably get them for that.
You got it.
Here, Naughty Dog. Here, I also have Nathan Drake while you're at it.
It's Universal. The Universal owns Crash.
Oh, really?
Not
Oh, yeah,
made
you're right.
the original.
Yeah, they don't
game,
own them anymore now.
but
though.
they don't. They never owned them. Never owned the character. So
I mean, every game's coming to Switch now, so anything's possible. Oh, Captain Toad! Captain Toad!
Captain Toad.
Captain Toad would be a good one. All right, we gotta stop this. Stop this madness.
stop this speculation. It's unreasonable speculation.
You know, it's tough now.
No,
I
we
remember
have
back
to
in the day when we were just
speculate.
hoping for Sonic.
We have to speculate based on nothing and then get mad when they don't
When
do it.
They don't do
As
it. Yeah,
if, as if it was
That's what I
something
do.
they always planned to do.
that's what I do every year.
Bring Solid Snake back.
Did any of anything else we missed? I don't think we did. We miss anything?
I don't think anything real
Nah,
major.
I couldn't move.
Okay. All right. Well then, Ricardo, what's
Yeah,
next?
guys, this is weird, but Monster Hunter World is the best-selling game in Capcom history,
That's
according to Capcom,
Crazy.
having shipped over 7.5 million units worldwide. A lot of people were speculating that. I mean, I guess this might just mean biggest, best-selling under a single banner, because, if you really kind of tallied the number of re-releases and iterations of Street Fighter 2, that would probably be a lot
Oh,
more.
yeah, totally. Yeah.
But
I think
it's
it's like
Don't worry, there'll be
single-
Monster Hunter
single game.
yeah.
G coming out soon. So
Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, that's pretty crazy. Friggin' Monster Hunter. Turns out a lot of people like that game.
yeah, I think it's so crazy because I remember hearing about it and being like, "Oh man, it's gonna be cool." It's too bad nobody's probably gonna play it, but
I was
It'll be
like, this
fun.
is gonna be the one that people have the best chance of playing.
yeah.
But I still figured it was gonna be a relatively niche thing. But then literally everybody's been playing that game.
I don't know. How's it feel, man? How's it feel to have
It's-
your niche game blow up?
It's pretty crazy, honestly. It's pretty nuts. I'm glad for it, but also at the same time, it's just man.
Where
this
were you
is
guys?
Not that. Where were you guys? These games have been kind of similar for the longest time.
This
Yeah.
one has
Oh.
enough of the things to make it universally appealable, and not on a handheld.
Yeah,
I
it does
was
look
gonna
very
say,
impressive
it
too.
It's nice to have camera control on a separate stick.
and it
Sure.
looks beautiful too. Really good looking
Yeah.
game. Motherfucking, what's next? Okay, so this is actually something interesting. Ubisoft is instituting a code of conduct for Rainbow Six Siege, which actually will add certain behaviors as bannable offenses, as opposed to just oh, don't do that, don't ruin the game for everybody. You can straight up get whatever. So this is, let's see, in a post on the game subreddit, this is from Polygon, the developer said new consequences based on racial and homophobic slurs or hate speech, including permanent bans, will only be levied against users on the PC for now. PlayStation 4 and Xbox One will continue to be subject to Sony and Microsoft's own codes of conduct. So there is a limit to what they can do, but at the same time, they state, we will be tracking the frequency at which language that violates the code of conduct is used by individual players, and will apply the appropriate ban on a case-by-case basis. And so there's an entire section listing quote-unquote forbidden content, and it includes any language or content deemed illegal, dangerous, threatening, abusive, obscene, vulgar, defamatory, hateful, racist, sexist, ethically offensive, or constituting harassment. Those are all forbidden. So yeah, this is interesting because it's because Blizzard it seems like Blizzard has been making an effort to cut down through an almost an honor code.
Yeah.
The number of ethical, the number of toxic players in the Overwatch community. specifically, but also I feel like that's a lot of bark without bite. This is like an actual thing in which Ubisoft is saying, no, we can actually ban you if you're doing these things.
Yeah.
You know,
Especially on the PC where they have the full control. It seems like a cop out to not do it on all the platforms, but I'm guessing there's some sort of like they just like maybe they were just worried they would step on somebody's toes or something like that. Like yeah.
It's quite possible. Yeah, I mean, but like I said, like Blizzard I feel like could do this on the PC as well. Other communities could. Ubisoft, obviously, a bigger company than a lot of others, but if you really want to cut down on the toxicity of your player base, you should probably put your money where your mouth is, so to speak.
Yeah, I mean that's good that people are like companies are starting to do that. It should be more standard across the board, I feel like. So
yeah, especially if you have the resources for it.
This is an interesting
going
story.
Going from one story to the next.
Going from some like nice, cool advancement to what are you doing? Is you guys played Inside? Yeah,
sure did.
Yeah,
it's a good
sure
game.
Did good game.
Spoiler cast on it.
You guys really, oh, nice pour there, Ethan. By the way,
it was much worse before.
So yeah, a lot of people liked Inside.
Yeah.
So much that
would you pay for a collector's edition?
I was gonna say Playdead is partnering with IM8bit for a collector's edition that's reportedly going to cost $375. IM8bit makes a lot of good stuff as well. I own some things from them, but they're also partnering with sex doll manufacturer Real Doll.
Wait, what?
For whatever this
Famous and Mars and the Real Doll.
Toy manufacturer for a Real Doll.
I mean, they make the sex dolls, man. They start at like $4,000.
The most like this is very very weird. But the one thing that did make me think that this is amusing is that they aren't saying what is in the
yeah, they haven't said what
they're teaming up with this Real Doll company, but they're just like, and we're not gonna tell you what you get.
They say we can confirm that there are several items included, one of which is a PlayStation 4 game disc. The rest is up for speculation. And again, they're really leaning into this because it's not like oh, we want to make a cool collectible, so we'll team with these people that seem like they know what they're doing and doing it, but like do so on a real hush-hush basis because of their background. No, there's a straight-up advertisement here that goes, IM8bit cross Playdead cross Real Doll. And then there's a present which has, I think, a spoilery thing.
Oh, it does have a spoilery thing.
For Inside, which also kind of made
you never played
Inside,
but
I saw it played though, which also might hint at what one of the items in the collector's edition might be.
There would be a lot of interesting silicone.
That's the weird.
A lot of real interesting silicone if you want a real one of those toys.
I was gonna say, and what might suggest what Real Doll is working on. So yeah.
Would you?
But not like.
I mean, I'm assuming
I don't want to kink shame anybody, but that's real gross. That's real gross.
I'm assuming you're not supposed to put your dick in any of the items in this.
Are you? That's the thing.
I think it's supposed to be not intended, but you can.
If that was the assumption, then why this company? There are lots of other
Because
companies that
they're really good at making like synthetic skin
stuff,
yeah, and jiggly and floppy bits, you know.
They probably are.
They could make an element of this game.
Anything else is
look really good,
guys.
Too much spoiler territory. But I do have a good name for the podcast now.
Good
jiggly bits.
So yeah, hey,
kind of interested, but I don't think I don't think I've ever
Let's
spent
see what this is.
$375 on anything.
You heard Ethan? He's gonna buy it.
I think I can guess what it is, and again, I'm assuming it's not really a sex thing, but also you never know.
You never know.
The internet.
I feel like it's just like, well, these are the best people to make this kind of thing that we're gonna.
You're probably
Yeah,
right.
and
like,
they- and
you
they
know,
obviously- and they
there's a
obviously
lot of
knew-
science and stuff that goes in that sort of stuff. So
Well, they obviously knew that it would generate this level of attention when they
Yeah,
announced
they
they were partnering
mentioned
with this company.
Speaking of attention, somebody had to pay attention to just the continuous retconning and re-retconning of Mario's past, because according
Oh yeah, they
to-
just can't. They can't really.
according to
Keep this one
this
straight.
new report on the company, to the Japanese Nintendo website, Mario is said to be a plumber again.
Well-
which apparently before Odyssey at some point it was
Yes,
suggested he
he
was
was
no
not.
longer a plumber.
That was definitely on the book. I think we even talked about it on this podcast at some point.
So, at this point, is there any kind of actual like design Bible for Mario,
No,
or is
there
just
never
literally
was.
anybody in Nintendo
I
just
know.
says
basically
whatever the
it's-
fuck they want about?
Because it's funny because you go to like Blizzard, if you go to BlizzCon, they have like someone who's hired there just to keep track of lore.
Yeah.
And obviously Blizzard
They
is much
typically
deeper
do
lore than
in a
Nintendo,
lot-
but
Uh-huh.
it's still funny to see how they're just kind of like flipping.
Yeah, no,
flopping.
they typically do, like, comic book companies have,
Mm-hmm.
people who are dedicated to making sure that the characters are portrayed consistently across things. But it seems like a Nintendo, literally anybody in the company can say something and it suddenly is canon.
The funny thing is that
whatever.
so many people care about the like stuff like Mario lore, whereas it's clear Nintendo does not. They have
know,
Mario,
it's-
like the latest,
well, but that's
Mario
the-
game. The latest Mario game has him running around. Like,
That's the
like,
thing.
the most, like completely nonsensical settings, and none of them are even coherent within the style of like what the last level was. It's just like
True.
what every designer was like, this is cool. Put it in the game. That sounds
True,
neat.
and I think them saying he is a plumber again is not the thing. The thing that is weird is them saying that he wasn't a plumber for some reason,
Yeah.
or like stating his exact age. Stuff like that is really fucking weird. Why would you even say anything to the contrary of him being a plumber? For first of all, because it clearly does not affect gameplay whatsoever, because he hasn't done anything plumber related since maybe the first Mario Brothers game.
Yeah.
My deep
And
lore.
even that's arguable, but like the fact that they would go out of their way to be like, oh, he's not a plumber anymore, it's just weird. And then also be like, oh, he's exactly 25 years old. It's like, why would you say that? Why would you even say these things?
I
Like,
think they just like didn't want to. Like one of the people asked the weirdest questions. Like the guy was like, they did that video where the guy took one of the designers from Mario Odyssey took questions, and it was like, why doesn't Mario have a belly button or something like that, or why does Mario have nipples but not a belly button? And he's
it's
like, oh, so we're starting with this, aren't we? That's what his response was. It's just like out, and then they just make it up because that's not what they're like. I'm a game developer. I can't wait for them to ask me about like what I was thinking when I made this
what
this
were you
fun
thinking
level,
when
and
you made Mario with nipples with no belly?
and then he goes, you know what? It turns out Mario was born in a test tube, and then then everyone freaks out, and then a couple months later, someone else goes like, no, that's not really the thing. Actually, where Mario is born, they don't have the belly
Again,
buttons.
I
Like-
just assumed Mario just had high-waisted trunks.
Yeah, that's what I thought
all
too.
I assumed. Also, yeah, I don't know. I feel like they need to Disney this stuff up a little bit more and be like more of just like,
Nah, I like it this
well,
way.
he's
I like it this way.
he's whatever you. What do you think is the answer?
I like it this way.
No, I hate
This
it.
play's
I hate
great.
They need to stop fucking talking. They
Everyone
need to
needs
stop
to
saying things.
everyone needs to not worry about lore so much. And
So okay, so what is this next story? I think Ethan put this on here.
yeah, I
It
heard
says-
something about this.
Okay,
It says
so-
no one. Okay, yeah, go ahead and say it. I won't say.
So for a whole
the title
day-
you've written for it.
It might have been, yeah, it was about, yes, a whole day. You couldn't play any Oculus games. Straight up, you start up your Oculus store and you're
Which
like,
is a
oh man,
weird thing.
I'm gonna play
like,
some VR. This is gonna be great. And then it's just immediately like cannot connect to runtime servers.
Which is
And-
weird, even for the games that you already had on your hard drive.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's with the thing called. It's like imagine if you turn on Steam and Steam is trying to talk to like its servers going back to it and trying to get a call back from that.
You
Apparently,
can still play your offline. You can still play games offline.
Imagine you can't even log into Steam though. Like you try
I
logging
guess
in, it doesn't even do that. So that's basically what it did, because a certificate expired, and the certificate, which is like it's a very, it happens. Like that happens in a lot of tech things, but it's like
couldn't even like.
yeah.
It's hilarious.
So
That's
it
hilarious.
went out for a whole day, and they were like, "Oh man, we're so sorry," and it like really breaks it. It's not one of those things because I would turn it on today because they give you $15 if you logged in before anyone on February, which I don't even know if I did because I don't think I touched my Rift since Monster Hunter came out. But I logged in and I was like, I wonder what this is working, and it just immediately shows up cannot connect to runtime because the old client was trying to call back to that same certificate and like trying to get a hold of it, and it's like no, so that you have to download a separate patch and patch it to get the thing to work. So I was able to log in, but you just have to download and go through like a side thing. So they offered like $15 of credit to buy anything in the store, which I think is pretty generous. Like that's generous enough. That's at least some kind of VR game you can get, and or at least a pretty good discount on like a new one. But man, it was just funny seeing like all of because I follow a subset of VR Twitter because I think it's interesting seeing what people care about, and they were just all freaking out. And they're like, we have demos going on like at South by Southwest, and like we can't even launch the freaking thing to show people. And I'm like, oh dude, that sucks because it's like not even your fault. Like
Yeah.
that's so rough. And some people are
really
like,
sucks.
I develop for the Gear VR or whatever, and I usually boot into Oculus because it's easier just to develop like tweaks and stuff. Now it's taking me forever because I have to upload like a new build every time to my Gear VR. So that was rough. That was a pretty rough oversight. Like they fixed it quick enough, but still it was like, man, if you had any big plans during that day, like imagine if we got a bunch of people over to like have a VR party, and it's like, oh man, we're gonna show you this cool thing, everyone hang out, come to my house. Oh okay, well it doesn't work, so I guess we'll just watch movies and eat popcorn, I guess. All right. But yeah, I thought that was an interesting thing that went on. Another interesting thing that I thought was interesting is Fortnite, man. Have you seen the numbers of Fortnite YouTubers? Like they are growing massively. I didn't put this in the news story, but like Polygon reported that like some people, like YouTubers, have almost a ridiculous amount of new followers for Fortnite, and Twitch streamers. Twitch had so much so that Twitch came in and investigated all the Twitch streamers for Fortnite just to see if there are bots or anything, and they're all real people following people playing Fortnite because it's just such a massive game.
So giant.
It's such a freaking giant game. I believe it's it's definitely overtaken. There was news, I think it was out last week maybe, that it's taken over PUBG. PUBG is no longer like the big massive thing.
Fortnite is bigger now.
Fortnite's the bigger thing, and it makes sense. The game is free to play. It's on more platforms than just PC, and that's all you need. That's all you really need.
I was gonna say, really, those two.
It's free to play and on more. That's the thing.
Yeah, and it's
although technically Battle Royale's on Xbox One now, but
true. But I hear that one's really janky, and I feel it's from what the updates I've seen to Fortnite seem to be coming way faster, more rapidly.
It's almost like Epic is a bigger team
I
and
know.
more experience to making video games.
Yeah, it's almost like they took everyone off every other project and closed them down just to make Fortnite updates.
It's true.
It's also funny that Fortnite is they have like this Fortnite, and then they have Fortnite Battle Royale, which is like two different things. And this is a new thing they announced, which is Fortnite Battle Royale is coming to mobile devices, phones and tablets. The 100-player game they love. It's the same gameplay, same map, same content, same updates. Starting Monday, you can get an early invite for iOS, and Android will be coming later. And it's like, And it will even support crossplay between PlayStation 4, PC,
Excuse
Mac, and
me?
stuff like that. Exactly.
That doesn't seem.
That seems
How-
terrifying.
How?
I don't know. This sounds like a nightmare. I don't even like. How are you supposed to control that? Are you gonna get like a Bluetooth controller?
you
Like,
can
are you
do
just gonna
that.
try using
Otherwise-
the weird
otherwise-
tapping?
Yeah, you're almost never gonna go ahead and.
Because like, it's not just a shooter. Like, it's a shooter and you have
Yeah,
building
you're
mechanics on top
building,
of it.
yeah.
And the building mechanics are its own separate thing you have to kind of learn to use with the PlayStation 4 controller.
Mhm.
And it seems crazy. And like, I get it. They're trying. I know the mobile market is probably prime for this. You know what? There's probably a bunch of copycat games that are not nearly as good that people just rushed out. But it's something with a name brand like Fortnite could come in and actually take
Yeah.
over. And it's also
Well,
free to play. Like,
it also doesn't help that I think that Battlegrounds is not done well by their audience. Honestly,
No.
like they've let cheaters run rampant, which I know they've been trying to fix it, but they've also been like putting a bunch of microtransactions into a game that wasn't finished yet, and like all that kinds of stuff like that. Like I feel like it just not that the game is bad now; it's still fine, it's still perfectly playable. It's just that I feel like they've not
the
focused on the
community
things
soured
that-
on it a little bit.
Yeah,
Which is a bummer because I personally prefer PUBG to Fortnite a little bit. Just
yeah,
the
I think
style
I
of
do
it.
too.
But
I've
Yeah.
only played the one.
I mean, it's still there. You can still like
totally, yeah, I know. But it's funny seeing these two kind of giants. It reminds me of like League of Legends and Dota, kind of. Except they're both free to Dota's all completely free to play, while League of Legends has like its microtransactions a lot more with its heroes. But we've never seen it where you had to buy League of Legends to play it, and Dota was free. So I don't know. It's a weird. Seeing these battle royale games come out is going to be pretty interesting as more and more enter the market, as they become the hot new thing, the hot new MOBA. As these giant battle map type games. But we'll see how it goes on mobile. Like, can you imagine like some people just lagging all over the place because they got like a crappy cell connection?
yeah.
Good.
I just don't know exactly how you're gonna.
Good. I need as much help as possible.
We should
As
we
many
should
sitting ducks as
we should-
possible.
we should hop in and try Fortnite again. I think it's time, considering they made so many more updates since the last time me and Matt played.
That's true.
I'm
I
curious
got
what they've changed.
I got some cool new gear that was given to me because I'm on Twitch Prime.
Oh, me too.
So yeah, you should get
I
your
should
loot,
rock
man.
that stuff out. I wonder if I can sell it and get a bunch of money on my Steam. Oh,
You
wait, I
probably
can't.
can't.
No, probably can't.
But oh well.
There you go. All right. So this is. I believe Matt, you wrote this headline. I think.
Yeah. Sorry.
All right,
You,
listen.
you wrote a lot.
It's a lot. I thought this was like 3 separate stories. When I
No, it's
initially-
just the one story, but I just put two links
Matt, you
to
seem,
two different.
you seem a little perturbed by this.
Well, I mean, this is news that got announced like last week, like right after we recorded. I feel like.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But yes, the current president of the United States met with
You
a
know
bunch
him.
of, the
T-Dog.
name. the T, yeah, that's
the T-Dog.
that's what everyone calls him.
Favorite side character from The Walking Dead.
Yes, they went ahead and decided something had to be done about the violence and mass shootings that this country is facing. So, grasping desperately at any kind of straw to cling to, he decided
Yes.
video games is going to be the one, and a little bit of the internet as well. Because that's a brand new concept that's never been floated before as
Yeah.
being.
Why
And so
hasn't anybody
then-
thought about it?
then
before?
last week, the White House announced that they would be meeting with video game leaders and the ESA to discuss this matter. And the ESA was like, "What? No one's told us that that's going to be the thing that we're doing." And then, a few days later, they were like, "Oh, okay. Well, now we've got invites."
Oh, okay.
Um,
So I guess we're doing this.
yeah. I just felt like bringing this up because like nothing came of it at all. It's basically exactly what everyone said it was, which was an attempt to blame video games.
I mean, has anybody thought about that before? About the video games?
You know what? America is the only country that has video games, and we are
Yes.
the only country that has gun violence.
Yeah.
Put the two together.
I don't understand.
The thing that I thought was interesting is that they watched a as like some sort of evidence. They watched a 90-second.
Yeah, did you guys see it?
No.
No.
We should have put that in trailer trash. It's you can play it. It's at the bottom of this article here.
It's all it's all the most violent things. Video games, hey, they're violent.
Yeah, especially there's certain subsets that are more violent than others.
Apparently, also what's funny is that Dan Reichert is in this trailer. One of these clips is one of his recordings.
Okay.
One of these clips is from Fallout 4, I think. It's like, and it's from his personal YouTube channel of like my favorite Fallout 4 kill scenes, or something like that.
Is there one of who was this? Was this Ryan Davis or whatever talking about stabbing a man in Assassin's Creed?
No,
it's like It's
they have freaking Modern Warfare 2 on here.
Yeah, they have that infamous no Russian section, because it is, that is shocking. And then they have that scene, some scenes from Wolfenstein, killing a bunch of Nazis, which, I mean, that's okay.
No, there's some very fine people out there.
So the Fallout 4 shots are Dan Reichert's personal favorites from Fallout 4.
Where it's like really goofy and weird.
With him like killing civilians, of course. Too. Like him not even fighting enemies, but him like
there's Sniper Elite footage.
Yeah.
You should let Dan talk
to Donald Trump. Yeah, he would solve that problem.
Yeah, it's definitely a very gory little like fest, but it's
For
also
sure.
like, but they're all out of context. That's the thing. It's like
there's no Mortal Kombat.
A lot of these, yeah, I know there's no Mortal Kombat. These are all shooting games.
No, this was like literally the like given also like the funny thing about like Dan's video is like its title is like 15 or like montage of best Far Cry 4 deaths. It's like this entire video of 90 seconds of footage or whatever was very clearly just some intern. They just like find violent video games and they just searched on YouTube violent video game and like that was what they couldn't even be able to do like there are more violent video games than what is shown in this.
There's some Friday the 13th stuff going on, I believe. I think in here.
That might be Dead by Daylight, but yeah, it could be Friday the 13th.
Yeah, you might be right.
The funny thing is that I actually think there should be a more serious story among both video games and movies and TV shows about the level of violence that we're okay with seeing and how that can affect us. However, that's not the same thing as saying that video games cause violence. That's a thing that's been proven to be not true over and over and over again. I think there could be negative effects to what we do, especially at how young people are okay with letting some people see some really kind of messed up stuff, but not the same as saying it causes people to be violent.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
It's not even like, oh, we need to censor it. I'm just saying like because of this kind of bullshit, like we have to, like the video game community is so closed off from even discussing that.
Yeah.
And because this thing that we've thought was dead like 15 years ago, like these studies have been like around for ages. It's not new information. We have to bring this up again is just complete garbage. And now setting us back,
I remember being a kid and watching one of those local news reports.
Yes.
Very distinctly back when that whole violent video game stuff was in place.
In full
and
swing.
this is when the SRB had the ratings, but there was no enforceable, like GameStop didn't do this or anything, but you could buy M-rated games at any age.
Yeah, and technically you still can.
Technically it's not illegal, but it's one of those self-imposed things.
And no GameStop or anybody major is going to.
Exactly. So like I remember looking at it and these kids were like, "What'd you buy?" And they're like, "Oh, I bought this game called Shadow Man. Here's Shadow Man. It's rated M, so it's basically like watching Terminator." And I'm like, "Oh man, that's crazy. I'm a kid. I would never play a violent game like that." I also don't want to play Shadow Man. But it was weird seeing that and then watching like these little like violent video games. I remember like it being actually very graphic because I was still young at the time and they showed it on TV because it was pixelated or whatever. But like seeing these people's like arms and stuff being shot off, and I was like, "Oh, it's so scary!" Like being freaked out by that.
Yeah.
And that was such a big deal back then. But like ever since then, movie theaters started doing the thing where they card you if you're look like a little kid if you're trying to get into like an R-rated movie. you know, you have to have a guardian with you if you actually do want to actually see one if you're underage. Same with video games. Like I remember being in GameStop, and actually I was 17, I think.
That's old enough to buy M.
Or might have been, I was the year before I was able to, so I might have been 16.
It's 17
I was 16 and I wanted to buy Oblivion. But Oblivion, I don't know if you guys remember this, it originally came out as T.
It was originally teen.
It was originally teen.
That's right.
But then they switched it to M because of some weird mod. They're like, oh man, there's nipples underneath these models or something like that.
Yeah. No, I think it was just like they were like,
they reassessed it.
The level of
I'm pretty sure it was something about the nudie. I'm pretty sure it was something about the nudies.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I mean, it typically is.
In America, if there's
titties under there, they're gonna be like, what is going on?
That's what I was gonna say. Is that they'll fucking show a guy get decapitated, but God forbid they show one titty in there.
Yeah. Don't show me a wiener. Don't.
I mean, the Lord of the Rings,
especially if it's erect.
The Lord of the Rings is PG-13. And there's a lot of blood and gore. It's just that it's just not human. Therefore,
it's fine.
That's
it's
fine. You watch
better not show me them elf nipples. Better not show me them elf nipples, though.
Anyway, so I remember going to GameStop and being
that's why the Hobbit was on,
finding an old version of Oblivion
elf.
that was rated T in the pre-game section. I was like, man, I want to get one of this Oblivion games. So I picked it up, I walked to the front, and I was like, hey, man, can I get this game? And he's like, yeah. And he checked it out. He's like, what's your ID? And I'm like, it's T, dude. He's like, it's what? And he looked at it. He's like, it's T. You're right. Huh. I'm going to ask my manager. And then he's like, "No, I can't say."
No,
because the computer said it was.
Yeah, the computer read it and was like, "This is the thing. It's an M-rated game." So I was not able to purchase it. So
son of a bitch.
So I then went and just got on a PC because it's so easy to do that. That's the other thing. As long as you have a credit card or like your parents' credit card, you can buy whatever you want.
Yeah. On PC. Or honestly, a console. You just have to order
a console too. Like that is a whole other thing where, you know, a lot of parents just don't know that sort of stuff, and that's what the ESRB is supposed to do, is kind of inform parents about that stuff and loot boxes. But it's just like that was so long ago. That was at least 10 years ago, at least 10, 12 years ago when that sort of stuff was going on, and it's just coming back again because, you know, why not? Let's blame video games again, because that's all you got to do. Just blame that thing that's been there for a while. And also violent movies. Violent movies have been around for ages.
Yeah.
Ages.
No.
Quentin
Tarantino made the first violent movie ever.
Yeah, in the 80s still.
Yeah. I mean, there's not much, luckily. I feel like... there's a whole lot of things we could say about this, but... I think most people are aware that that's not the issue, or at the very least, the people who want to think that's the issue are not doing it in good faith.
No,
this is different from the other things, which is like, yeah, maybe Jack Thompson wasn't, but there was a lot of like concerned parents and things like that, and like say what you want about how incorrect they were, and sometimes in bad faith they were. Most of them were probably just like,
I'm scared.
Is this bad for my kid? I don't know, and I'm being told it is, so therefore
understand.
It must be.
The news reports say it's bad.
At least that's like honest.
The church told me the Harry Potter was the devil, and I can't have you read that, son.
Yeah. So that, again, not good necessarily, not informed.
They told me the Mario Party 2 was the devil, and you can't play that.
I mean, remember whoever wins that round of Mario Party gets to sacrifice the other players to Satan?
Yeah.
That's a really weird ending. It's only on that one level, too.
It's like...
Well, there wasn't on that way. Let's just sacrifice a goat.
The silhouette shows up, and it's like, who is that? And it's like, it's the sacrifice.
And then the music plays, and it's like, wake me up inside.
Can't wake up. Just fucking Immortal playing in the background. It's like, that was weird. That was a weird choice for Nintendo to pick that.
Tried so hard and got so far. Let's watch some trailers in Trailer Trash.
Trailer that thing on ban on the video game, but let's keep her going. Get it out.
Yes. We're actually progressing through this. With all the news we had, with all the Nintendo stuff, and I was surprised but we didn't have much video games to talk about this week, so that's why we're moving at a steady pace.
Already pre-played games. It's been a slow week, honestly. You know, like there's.
Well,
some
I
big
mean,
games,
yeah, there was that
which
Hunt
I kind of
Showdown game that we
enjoy.
didn't play, and then there was Vermintide 2 that we didn't play. There's 2 big games that me and Ethan like really like that are like right up our alley of games that we could have
Yeah.
played, but we haven't.
I
We
feel
just
like
haven't
Hunt
gotten around to
Showdown
it.
I want to play, but I
It
want
feels
to
like
wait.
it seems like from what I'm hearing, it's very
I want
half.
to wait for the jank to go away a little bit and
Yeah.
then play it.
Oh, dude, guys, Kukill came out.
Oh yeah, Kugel came out.
What?
I wanted to play that.
Oh man.
So I'm probably gonna try maybe get that this weekend.
Yeah, dude. Tell me about. I want to know how good that game is because that game looked good.
I heard good things about it so far too. I've looked up
Great.
some reviews, so I'm
Great.
excited to play that. Very Tom and Jerry from what the early reviews say. which I'm
Great.
looking forward to.
Is it Tom and Jerry and Willy Wonka? Because that's all. That's what I,
No, it's not that.
what I really
It's
want.
not that Tom and Jerry. Yeah, and Sea of Thieves is coming out soon, so we'll be probably
Yeah,
playing
we're
that. at
probably
some
playing
point.
that for sure. I think that's more likely to be played.
That's something we played. But yeah, anyway, back to trailers. Speaking of
trailers.
which, Vermintide 2. This is a release trailer.
It's a long trailer.
It's a long
It's a
trailer,
really long
and
trailer.
it's kind of not great. I don't
like
like it.
well, yeah. So the thing is, like, it's got a neat thing it's doing, and then it's like, and we're gonna keep doing that for 5
For
minutes.
5 whole
it's
minutes.
like
That's
like
a long time.
I was waiting for the time when they would start animating and hitting each other.
yeah, and they never did. It's just all like freeze frames from the game, and it seems to be them going like, look how many enemies could be on screen at once.
Yep, there
for
sure
our-
is a lot, and I don't believe them.
I don't believe it's
I don't
true
believe
either.
it either.
But it's like it's just like all the action is frozen and the camera is just like panning around,
Yes.
and it is 5 minutes long. It just does that for 5 full
And
minutes.
it looks cool, but it's also just
And
like,
there's some
when are they
nice-
gonna move?
There's some nice music in there
Yeah.
too, but
and it shows the heroes, and the heroes are fighting the bad guys. But again, it's all in freeze frame.
freeze flame.
Freeze flame. One thing I will say is that
Set in Dragon Ball.
one thing that did kind of concern me is that the environments look very similar to the last game.
Yeah.
Like I'm kind of.
I mean, they turnaround time. What? The last game only came out like 2 years ago. Like that's not that long ago.
Is it just 2? I thought it was maybe 3.
It's not
but-
that old.
It's not that old. No, it's definitely not. It was 2015, so yeah, 2.5 years ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, not that old. Yeah, I mean, totally. It could be a lot of. I'd just be bummed if like there's 2 environments specifically that look like they are the same environment, like the same even levels almost from
Well,
the last game. So
I
I'm
mean-
hoping it's not that.
with this setting and this theme, like how much can you deviate from?
Just not.
I mean,
like,
they
well,
literally
so
look
for
like the
instance-
exact same. Like this
Oh,
weapon,
okay.
this layout looks exactly the same. Like it's
the
pretty
last-
similar.
The last game also took place inside of one town.
Okay.
So the whole, which it was kind of, I thought was a really cool thing. Like it was all like, oh,
Sounds cool.
you're defending this like last town. Like each level was in a different part of the town, trying to like hold off this rat invasion. But like to change that up, you could just not be in the town anymore. You know,
Uh-huh.
for the second game. You
Yeah.
know, you could do something else, be somewhere else. You know, be in a larger area, a different area. It looks a little similar, but that said, the game was really fun. So if they've ironed out a little of the few of the loot things that we didn't like about last time, then I'm pretty hopeful that this will be good.
I really like Vermintide.
Yeah, I did too. We gotta try and convince our friends to get in it. Ethan, I think like, if we can get 4, then I'm down.
Yeah. All
What
right.
was the next trailer?
We got the next trailer is,
we didn't even make it through that full trailer because
I know, watching it,
that's
it was a long
that
trailer. and on the
Mm.
stream here, we didn't even get through the whole thing. But Tesla versus Lovecraft launch trailer, which
Yeah.
I've heard good things about early on.
Yeah.
It is
It
a
was an
game.
early access for a little bit.
Yeah. You play
Now it
as
is not.
Tesla to fight
Yeah,
Lovecraft
in a mech
stuff?
in a mech suit.
Yeah.
Tesla in a mech
it's-
suit,
Yeah,
and you're fighting
it's-
other gods.
It's a dual stick top-down shooter, where you
Reminds me
play
of
as
2008.
Nikola Tesla in a mech suit who's shooting out all kinds of cool, colorful looking ammunition at these crazy Lovecraftian monstrosities, and it looks really cool. I mean, it looks like a
It-
dual stick shooter in a lot of ways.
It moves really,
It is.
moves really smoothly and has a lot of cool explosion effects and light effects on the screen. It looks like it's got some decent variety with some neat moves and stuff like that. Some neat like abilities.
Uh-huh. And of course,
else?
the theme is interesting. It's a lot. It's a
It's a weird mix.
the trailer really plays up like science isn't afraid of anything or whatever. Like,
It's a little bit of a bit of science deification going on.
yeah,
That I always find weird. Of just like, it always feels like people misunderstanding what science actually is to me.
no
but
science.
but sure, it's a dumb video game where you're playing as Tesla in a mech suit. So, whatever. Yeah, it's it's a thing. It's fine.
Against H.P. Lovecraft, who
actually worshipped elder gods in real life.
he did. He was also horribly racist.
Yep.
But that's probably
Yep.
not explored in this game.
I feel like that might not be mentioned in this.
Yeah, but hey, speaking of horribly racist, no, this is
Man, that T-Rex really hates Stegosauruses. Like, just really just doesn't like them.
He's like, this used to be a good town.
When the Stegosauruses came in here, they started plating everything up.
Yeah, so guys, Pokemon Go is totally a currently huge, big success.
It's pretty
thing.
big still.
I mean, it's actually still probably pretty good.
I mean,
pretty
it's
big, but
always
still,
weird driving by and seeing people playing it, like doing raids and stuff still, and like, oh yeah, people still play that game a lot. Like, I casually tap into it, but
Not idly
to the leaves of Lorien fall.
Yes, not standing by and letting, Professor Oak take all the, or I guess it's some other fucking professor in that game. John Hammond's like, yo, I'm sparing no expense. I'm making a Pokemon Go, but with Jurassic World license. So that's what this game is. You go around the real world and you're just like, hey, there's this T-Rex. That's cool. I don't know actually what the gameplay of this game is going to be like.
It looks exactly the same.
This trailer has
it
very
even shows the phone and it looks like the same exact Pokemon UI. Like the artwork for the map looks the same. Like they didn't even bother to change that.
They have like generic.
They have this handsome man like looking around though.
Yeah, I was gonna say like generic dude looks way too put together to be just like wandering the park by himself.
Man, he's just got a
playing
hoodie and like a
Jurassic
freaking
World.
shirt on. Like he's not that look put together.
Dude, that's the look now.
That's the look.
Yeah,
Hey man,
man,
I've
come
been
on.
watching a lot of Queer Eye. That's not the look anymore, man.
Keep
Oh,
watching
yeah?
a lot of Clear Eye.
Yeah.
Tell me what the
What's the current look?
Needs more colors. Hoodies are out, bro. I wear hoodies all the time, but like his jeans are not well fitted. He's just he's got that like half shave, but like I will say his
That's
hair is
what-
pretty good though.
the hair's good.
He's got a good hair.
But he's like, what the? And then he turns around and there's a T-Rex there, and the T-Rex is like, that sound
Yeah.
that the
Yeah, that's how T-Rex sounds.
Tim Allen Rex.
Tim Allen Rex.
Tim Rex.
It's like,
Okay.
and then it switches to fucking be like Jurassic World Alive. That's the game.
I'm waiting for the Harry Potter version of this because I don't know.
Yeah,
Dinosaurs are cool, but
well,
I'm curious
because
what they'll
this
do with the
isn't-
Harry Potter one.
Because
This
this
isn't
isn't.
Niantic.
I don't think Niantic.
No.
So Niantic.
Only
Niantic.
Niantic can make these games.
Niantic got all that
Hey.
data from Ingress, dude. They made all those people work for it, all those crazy Android users.
Yeah, that's why Pokemon Go worked flawlessly from the
100%,
get-go, and,
but
and
imagine how-
continues to work flawlessly.
There's like a weird.
Yeah,
You guys
no
have heard of that?
problems.
Have you guys heard of that weird Garfield version of Pokemon Go that
What?
came out? Yeah, there is a straight up Garfield version. Hold on, I gotta turn on this for stream real quick. I gotta look
This
this up.
isn't. This
There is.
isn't
This is an
a-
existing thing. This is not a fake thing.
This isn't a Jeff Gerstmann thing.
No, it's not. Garfield Go. That's what it's called. It's an AR
What?
treasure hunt.
Okay,
Yep, I'm
hold
looking at
on.
it. I will send you a link to the Android store right now so you can enjoy.
Is this on iOS?
It's probably on iOS too. I can't imagine they'd release something on Android and not put it on iOS.
Garfield Go.
But you collect, you get real prizes. You can win an Amazon gift card, I guess. So this looks,
Oh my god.
You can locate hidden treasure chests. You can collect rare
Sure.
comics. Yep, that's it. That's it right there.
Garfield Go.
You can definitely get Garfield Go.
4.1 stars, but only 38 reviews.
38. Wow, that's kind of bad. This says 500 reviews on the Android store, 4 stars. It is It's got mini games. You collect tokens. It's weird that like
I
people are
can
like,
collect rare comics.
you know what? I kind of feel like installing this and trying this game. But
Chance for actual rewards, says this one review.
the fact that you can actually earn money from this seems kind of weird. I don't know how I feel about that. Like, games that give me money are usually scams. What are they getting out of me? I don't know.
Information.
Yeah, man,
That's all you
Garfield
are,
Go.
is a
Anyway,
bunch of bits of data.
they're the rage. They're the rage right now. Those geolocating things. But, you know, it's also the rage.
Yes.
Against the machine.
The Thing. You guys heard of The Thing? It's from John
Yeah,
Carpenter. Pretty good.
Actually, I was just watching that the other
Brand
night.
new
That
movie,
movie's
The
really
Thing.
good. That movie is really, really good.
It is a spooky, scary game. Movie.
I thought
Very
you'd
good
say
movie.
that, Loss. That's why we'll do you last.
Oh God, get him off the chair! Windows blast him!
Have you guys seen the prequel? Also called The Thing, I believe.
No, I've not seen the prequel.
Yes,
The
I
one
think
that,
so.
like,
The more
2005 or
recent
something like
one,
that,
yeah.
really
I
recent.
did see that. It's
Apparently
not good.
Apparently it's not good.
It's not that good.
They have the Thing board game, which is actually not bad. It's pretty good.
Oh, you played it?
Yeah, it's
Then
pretty
there's-
fun.
And then there's Dr. Zeus's take on it, which was Thing 1 and Thing 2.
Hmm
Yeah.
A lot less threatening, a lot less gory. But you know what's very gory is Carry On game.
Carry on.
Made
Carry
by the same
On?
people who made Butcher, which I
It's-
remember
it's-
being a very
it's-
gory
it's-
game.
It's actually a British game. It's
Carry On!
Carry on.
Keep calm and carry on as you rip that man's head from his spine.
And then flail a spine
Flail
around.
around.
You seem to play as a thing.
Yeah, you seem to
in
play
this
as like
game.
this.
Which is why you mentioned it, I'm sure. But it looks literally like you're just like this meat monster
this
tendrils.
blob thing that just runs around and
Yeah.
grabs people's heads and like rips them out of their spine and stuff, and it's
It
very
calls itself.
graphic.
It calls itself a reverse hoarder game because you are playing as yeah. This should have been shown to Trump. This game.
yeah, seriously. Speaking of
The-
violent video games,
Yeah. The thing I don't understand, I don't really get is that the thing about horror games and movies is that you're supposed to feel powerless and afraid
Mhm.
because the monster is so powerful and can rip you apart like it's doing in this trailer.
But what's the reverse of that?
But so if you're playing as the monster, right?
yeah,
Then you're the
Yes.
one that's powerful and everything is afraid of you.
yeah.
Then how
Yeah.
is that like
The reverse.
It's
I
the
get
reverse.
no. I don't misunderstand the reverse part. I misunderstand how that makes a fun video game.
Dude,
I
it's
guess.
the reverse.
Who knows? I've never played a game like this because there hasn't really.
I don't
been...
know. Dynasty Warriors, there's been like 7 of them.
Who can explain anything
Who can
anymore?
explain? Well, there's that many Dynasty Warriors.
You know
They
what?
barely changed. Who can
Ricardo, you
explain
got a
it?
point. Anytime someone says they don't understand something again, like no matter what it
There's
is,
been
I'm
like
there's
7
been like
Dynasty
seven-
Warriors.
7 Dynasty Warriors. How can you explain that?
Why do people go to Starbucks when there's
No,
probably
but I
good
mean,
coffee in the office? Because there's seven
Oh,
Dynasty
my
Warriors.
Shut the hell up, Ethan.
Ethan with his first
I don't
fucking
even like hot takes.
fucking
Hot,
friendship.
yeah.
today.
You ever read a take so bad that you just immediately go to
That's not a
sleep?
bad take. I
That
don't
was a-
understand it. I literally
It
just
is
want to
a real
know.
bad
Not-
take.
It's so easy to understand.
Why? Explain
Some
to me.
So, one, people have different tastes than you.
I
Two,
don't get it.
people like
don't get
people like drinks that you can't make at a coffee machine at work, like espresso or like anything with
I
espresso.
guess. Okay,
Like
that
with
makes
most of
sense.
Starbucks' main drinks, like all their
Sure, I guess
lattes
most
and
people don't order
cappuccinos,
black coffee from
everything.
there.
Yeah, the plain coffee is also like everyone goes like, oh, you pay $10 for a coffee. Oh, their coffee is like $2. Is not expensive. It's not good, but it's not expensive either. So there you go. There's your 3 off the top of my head points. Do you understand it now?
I do get it. I get why
Do you
people
understand why there are 7 Dynasty Warriors games? No one understands that.
go. You're right. You know, you explained one mystery, and I still am locked up in another. So
Science can't explain it.
yeah, well.
Science can't explain it. It's the one thing Tesla could never solve. Why there were
Yeah.
why there are 8 Dynasty Warriors games.
And science is afraid of your
Yes.
real bad tweets about
So-
They need
coffee.
to get Tesla on them, man.
Also, that Starbucks coffee tweet was like out of like 2006. I feel like I'm just like Starbucks. Am I right?
Why are you going to Starbucks?
it's not
Okay,
even-
listen, Matt. I'm trying to tweet things from my life and what's affecting me right now. I'm not. You know, I never had Starbucks runs in 2006
So you're
because
just
I was
looking
fucking
at these
15,
people
and when I
leaving
was
the
15, I
office
didn't
and
do
they're like,
anything.
Where are you going? Where are you going? And they're like, oh, we're just gonna run over to Starbucks to get some coffee, and you're just like, "Ugh, I gotta type fucking tweet about this.
That's pretty accurate. I don't get it. Why do people go to Starbucks? I don't get it.
Ethan, you're the guy who would spend money on a flatizza because it was cheaper than anything. Like,
But I
than-
can't make
than-
there's no free fatitas at work. I can't go and be like, I want to get a free fatisa. Am I gonna get a free fatisa? I'm not gonna get no free. It's not a fucking chicken nugget machine shitting out chicken nuggets, and then I go and go, oh shit, I'm gonna go to McDonald's. There's none of that shit. There's fucking free ass coffee at work. I could get that, and then I could go to, but I could just go spend money at Starbucks. I don't understand it. Let's like imagine if you got snacks and you're like, oh, cool,
You
I'm
brought
gonna
this
go
up.
to Ralph's.
I just want to say, in case you think that we're bullying you, you brought this up for the podcast.
No,
We did
I'm
not
not.
bring
I'm
it up
not.
for the
Look, man,
podcast.
I don't feel bullied.
All
I
right.
don't feel bullied. I feel very explained. I'm just stating my position.
I will say this: you are a very utilitarian eater in a lot of ways, and
Utilitarian. What does that mean?
you're like, I drink the coffee because it gives me caffeine.
Yeah, that's
You're
a
not.
good point.
You're not like, oh, I enjoy the taste of this coffee.
Well, I like the taste of coffee. It's fine.
Sure, but you're not like, but you're obviously not like not so much that you're gonna go out and get fancy coffee.
Well,
You're
that's
just
my
getting a
question though. Is
coffee.
like if that was the other thing that I didn't understood is like if you go to Starbucks, why would you go to Starbucks when you can go to like a nicer coffee place?
Ethan, why would you go to Jack in the Box when you could get a burger that's much nicer?
Because there's
Somewhere
no
else.
Jack in the Box in my current office, crapping out crappy Jack in the Box patties. Is what I'm saying.
All right, we're moving on.
Anyway.
From this dumb conversation. Far Cry 5.
This
Season
is
Pass
this is an
trailer.
interesting season pass. Like it
Sure.
is.
If they're doing a lot of things, I get that for sure. I'm just not super stoked on Far Cry 5, so that's my.
Well, Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon was pretty cool. Like that was a cool
Sure.
thing that they did. That was much different than Far Cry 3, completely different. And they're trying to do kind of like a little bunch of mini episodes, it seems, where it's like we got like this Vietnam style, like crazy, weird
I
version.
mean, and so many things that like they have to be making new assets for, like they.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They're doing other stuff for this.
It's not just like here's some more maps, here's some more characters, here's some more
not-
guns, you know.
Yeah, I mean, even Blood Dragon, which did a lot of crazy things, was on the same map as the original Far Cry 3, right? Like it was just like it was
Yeah,
the
yeah.
same island, but it was just. But now we've added.
Yeah,
transfer
there was a
effects.
bunch of stuff in it that was
Yeah.
interesting, but yeah. And now there's
This
like,
is like we're making all new zombie mans. We're making new.
but it's not
uh,
just like Zombie Man, like kind of like a corny zombie where it's like directed by this random guy, and
Yeah.
that kind of adds a whole new effect to it.
And then you can be in
But what
space.
about
you know, Mars.
Vietnam?
What about it?
You go to Vietnam, yeah, you sure
You go to
can.
Vietnam. Yeah. You can get Far Cry 3 if you want to play that. If
This
you haven't played
isn't-
that.
This isn't Vietnam. There are rules.
You can also go to space,
Yep. You can go
I
to
don't
space, be on Mars, fight bug aliens in space.
yeah. And then they
Yeah,
got.
I mean,
uh,
It's not even that,
So,
that
yeah.
bad.
I was
Like-
saying,
What annoyed me about this trailer was the stupid voiceover man yelling at
I
me.
kind of like the voiceover, man.
All right. I don't even know you anymore.
all right.
Who am I?
Would you
I didn't,
have-
I didn't
would you-
hate it, but
would you have a?
Wait, Ricardo, I need you to burn some of Ethan's blood to make sure that he's.
Would you have a coffee in the office with the voiceover man?
yeah, probably.
And
I mean,
refuse to engage.
me and him would
socially with
hang out and
people
be
that
like,
are getting
I ain't getting
Starbucks."
your capitalistic Starbucks bullshit. I'm just gonna
What
sit
if,
here.
what if the voiceover man was like, let's go to Starbucks? Then what would you do? And the conundrum now,
Ooh, you're right. That's a
puzzle.
tough moral choice. I don't know what I would do over the two.
You would go to Starbucks, but bring the free coffee with you.
Yeah,
I
I want the social experience, but I don't want to spend the money. God,
My-
that sounds like that
my
does sound like me.
My thing is that, like, for me, it's just like, I feel like Far Cry's done this a couple times where it's like, why don't they just kind of like make that the game? Why isn't it like a time
especially-
splitter sort of like weird anthology
Time
of
Splitters is so
settings
good.
and stuff?
Yeah,
Like,
especially
it's-
especially if the base game is like, we got some hot takes, state of the world right now, and it's like, nah, just kidding, just blow stuff up. That's all.
Just
That's
kidding,
all.
have
We'll
a
do.
Far
pet
Cry
bear.
3, wow!
Have a pet bear and
You want to play an
Having-
arcade? Here you go.
And then we're gonna have some both sides jokes in this thing. Have you guys heard any of this stuff coming out about like the previews for the actual Far Cry 5?
Mm-mm.
Like all the talk at the beginning of like we've got some real takes on the way like the political culture in America is. It's like apparently like nah, not really. It's like completely like yeah, there's like a few like things about it, but then there's also some things that are like just kidding. We've also got a joke that says libtards in it to like so we can make sure that both sides are getting theirs. Like
They're very fine people on both sides.
Well, that's kind of a bummer.
but that's not what this trailer was. So this trailer was fine. I thought
It was about
It seems like a cool way to do a season pass, so is actually like explain everything up front as opposed to just being like, I don't know this stuff. Hope it's good. You still kind of hope it's good, but you know, at least you kind of know at least where it's coming from.
Necromunda Underhive Wars.
Yeah.
Necromunda or Necromunda?
I'm gonna say Necromunda.
Necromunda. This is a Warhammer. It seems like a Warhammer 40k thing. It's from Games Workshop, so
Possibly. It's from the same,
one of
same
two
studios.
properties they own, or 3 properties they own, or whatever it is. Yeah, it looks. What kind of game do you think that this is like a first-person shooter game or like a tactics game?
I
'Cause
think
some of their
this
games
looks
are
like a tactic game.
Yeah.
The way that they're like, it seems like there's a team.
The trailer's all cinematic.
against, like another
for
team.
context. We don't
Yeah.
have any knowledge of.
Yeah, but it's also again like there's 2 different colored teams like against each other. So I'm gonna assume it's like a tactics style, like turn-based game, maybe. or
I've
something
never
like
heard
that.
of this before, like this type of Necromunda.
Yeah, I mean,
Like-
as with most Games Workshop stuff, this is probably an existing game type that they're making into a video game, so to speak.
It seems very like from someone who doesn't know anything about this. It looks very Mad Max, where it's like people are very we're just like kind of like nomadic warriors who are just like, oh, paint my face like this.
It almost sounded like these are like the underside of these giant space stations that are already like scavenged clean, and these guys are the ones that are like picking it apart or at the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. Some sort of like Mad Max situation, like you said. They got a good British accent.
They do.
They do.
Like good, I mean, like it's very over the top British accent.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Dick Van Dyke style.
Yeah. Mary Poppins.
Poppins.
The Poppins does show up at the end of this.
Just like at the
Yes.
end when it's like Lin-Manuel Miranda shows up and is like, oh, I'm flying a kite.
Let's
Yeah, he was in that.
fly a kite.
But you guys saw the trailer, right?
Oh,
The-
there's a new Mary Poppins.
Yeah.
Mary Poppins
I
Returns.
actually have not seen that
I
trailer.
also saw the trailer for Christopher Robin.
The Christopher Robin trailer, I'll say, it kind of makes me want... Just because the voice. Like, for some reason, the voice got me.
Of Pooh
Apu.
in the trailer.
What's wrong with his voice? Does
No,
he
he's
sound-
exactly the same.
No,
but
I
it's
mean,
just like
it's
this
him.
old school
Yeah.
looking, like very... what's the name? What was the original person who wrote Winnie the Pooh?
I don't remember, man.
I can't remember, but the original Pooh designs, it looks like that. And then you have like the Disney. Oh God, who voiced Winnie the Pooh? Was it something Cummings?
Jim Cummings.
Jim Cummings. Jim Cummings voicing it, and it's just like, oh, I don't know, that hits you pretty good. Like it hit me pretty good.
And it's Ewan McGregor as Christopher Robin.
Yes.
Yep, old man Christopher Robin.
I was gonna say like it's an interesting like the later years. Winnie the Pooh, the later years.
Yeah, I just don't know where it's going.
It
but-
could be bad, kind of like
could
Saving
be
Mr. Banks,
interesting.
but it could be interesting too. So,
Yeah.
anyway, Kirby Star Allies trailer 2, which is a Switch game.
Yeah, this didn't show too much. It was a typical Nintendo trailer of like, hey, in the new Kirby Star Allies, you can do this and that and the other thing.
Yeah, very
Anyway,
Nintendo, just like in the new Kirby game. I like Friendship Bridge. I form that every day with you guys. My Friendship Bridge.
Yeah, so the new
Aw.
Kirby, you can suck up enemies and take their powers,
Mm.
or you can
Unheard of.
throw hearts at them and then they become part of your team, and then you can team up different powers together and make new powers. So it's kind of like almost like Kirby 64 in that way, where you used to be able to like take a power and then you could pull it out and throw it at somebody else and then you get a new power or whatever. So that's kind of neat. but also yeah, I don't know. I feel like this is like really, I think this is really close to coming out when initially there wasn't a lot of fanfare about it.
Yeah, I know.
don't know.
There's like I didn't remember hearing much announcements for this
It's 4 players
Until,
or something,
like,
right?
until it like just showed up. I mean, it's got
I
4
believe
characters
so.
on screen, but it seems like you
I
don't.
mean,
yeah,
like-
you don't have to play necessarily with.
Yeah, because like Kirby Superstar or Ultra Star on the DS, you could, you know, the most of the like the normal, like the cool action levels, you could do this where you got the power and then you could split the power off into a, you know, a little friend, and then a second player could play as that friend. And so maybe it's like that, like it's similar like
Hmm.
that, or they could be controlled by an AI if you so wanted them to be. But that could be kind of cool. I like
I love
games
Kirby
a lot.
games a lot. Like, there's so many of them though, and they're all so like mildly experimental in like weird ways. That
Yeah.
like I don't know, it seems pretty cool though.
Yeah, they're
Ice-curling.
all unique. Like, yeah, the ice curling.
And a friend bridge. Hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's trailer
So-
trash.
That's trailer trash. What wins?
Jurassic World Alive.
No.
No. I
don't know, the
I'm-
trailers
I'm
here
kinda
are all
torn. Yeah,
kinda-
everything was like fine, but nothing was amazing.
Hmm.
I kind of like the Far Cry 5 trailer.
Do you?
Kind of.
I was gonna say Carrion.
Yeah, I was between
Honestly.
that and Carrion.
I would prefer Carrion over Far Cry 5.
All right, let's do Carrion.
Carrion is the winner.
Carrion it is. Carrion my way.
No, yeah, sorry, it has to be. That's not
Carry-
That's not somber enough.
Oh, you're
Just
right.
make it- yeah. Carry on, my wayward.
Sun. It's time to hot done.
Is
Anyway.
it the end?
Didn't even matter. Okay. Thank you for listening and or watching this week's Pixel Podcast. We appreciate it. If you have watched this, go ahead and give us a subscribe on Twitch. Or a follow on Twitch. I can't.
Follow.
We're not partners, so we can't be subscribed to. That's twitch.tv pixel_legends if you want to go there. If you're listening to this on the audio format, then give us a subscribe on iTunes and a review there. We'd appreciate that a lot. If you have seen and or heard any of our stuff in the past and think these guys are cool and not at all idiots, then go check out pixellegends.com with 1 L. And that's our website where you can see all of our stuff. And the podcast gets posted there every week. And yes, that is pretty much everything. Go buy a Switch. The Nintendo is killing it. The Nintendos, they are.
Go buy it. It's never been a better time to get a DS, 3DS or 2DS.
or 2DS or a new,
Honestly,
They're very
new
cheap.
2DS, a new 3DS.
Oh, I didn't mention this, guys. I
XL.
booted up while my girlfriend Lindsay was playing Monster Hunter World. I was like, I wonder what old Monster Hunter looks like, and I booted up Monster Hunter Generations,
Yeah.
and I just got lost and couldn't find a monster for like 20 minutes because it's been so long
See?
since I played. I
It's
do
not-
not know
You're
where the
like,
monsters
where are the-
are.
You're like, where are the clues?
Yeah, there's nothing here. I guess that's just fine. And you have to find them, and then you have to mark them, or else if they escape, you just can't
Yeah,
find
you
them
have to hit him
anymore.
with the paintball.
Yep,
dude.
yep,
Remember
with the
paintballs?
paintball. Oh,
Jeez.
it was a,
Man.
a very awakening experience. But you could jump with a gun and jump over people and shoot them, which was kind of fun. But,
Yeah.
yeah,
Aerial style.
aerial style. I do miss the styles. Like that was a cool thing to put on top of everything else. Like here's a little mix
Yeah.
up to kind of increase like what you could do with a particular
Super
weapon.
moves. I
Yeah.
remember you always liked to shoot that giant Nova Blast or whatever,
Yep.
and it hit about half the time.
Yep.
Maybe.
I mean, the Nova Blast stuff is still kind of in Monster Hunter World because you have the Wyvern Snipe, and which is technically it's like always ammo sort of thing.
Yeah.
But it was weird playing that again and being like, oh yeah, there's a lot of stuff. Like a lot of the stuff just isn't organized at all. Okay, well, that's fine, I guess. But yeah, don't play Monster Hunter Generations. It's not as good. There's a lot of step backs.
You should play it.
Really?
It's
If
a
you
good
play
game.
Monster Hunter, would you go back and play? Would you really suggest people to play Generations afterwards?
Yes, but I'm crazy.
Okay.
Yes, don't listen to him at all, anybody. Monster Hunter World's pretty good, but don't let that go to your head. All right.
Can you take Monster Hunter World with you? How's that?
Yes. You pick up your
Alright.
PS4 and walk
And
out
get
the
a
door.
Vita.
Don't
and
unplug the PS4 first. Just pick it up and walk out the door. Rip it out of the wall.
Yes.
Rip it off the TV. All right. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next week with more Pixel Podcast.
Yeah.